Goes bing. Hello, we're live. Welcome to MomCave Live this week. Valisa and Stephanie are having mom disasters. This is they're not joining us this week, but we have some really great guests here. We have Sunny and MJ, and they're the two ladies behind NewMommyMedia, which is really cool. They're about to launch a new website, but I've been following them for a while. They have podcasts that are really funny and informative. They've got the Boob Group, ParentSavers, Preggie Pals, and Twin Talks. Yeah. All that alliteration. Anyway, so you guys want to tell us a little bit about NewMommyMedia?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I'm Sunny. So NewMommyMedia is my baby. I've got lots of babies, but it's one of my babies. And I'm a mom to 4 children, the oldest being 4, just turned 4, and the rest are younger than that. So.
Oh my God! Good luck to you.
I know, this is like my reprieve. This is like my moment of sanity that I can talk to you ladies and like get out of the kids zone. Like my parents are watching the kids in the next room, so la. But yeah, so NewMommyMedia is a company that I started a couple years ago. You know, my background is in journalism and producing content. Jen, very similar to yours, and just wanting to connect with other mamas out there, and you know, with an emphasis more on like education. So we have, like you mentioned, we have 4 different shows, and really our sweet spot is, you know, you've determined that you're going to have a baby, good luck with that, all the way up through about age 5. So that's like the demographic that we're really focused on. And so it's kind of like that transition to parenthood. And so right now we've got 4 different shows, and we're building out our network of shows, which is, you know, really exciting. So we've got one focused on pregnancy, one focused on, okay, you just had your baby, now what do you do with it kind of thing, through toddlerhood. One show that's focused on breastfeeding, and then we have one focused on twins, because my 2 youngest kids are twin girls. And so once I knew I was pregnant with twins, I was like, oh, this is a game changer. And I went online.
That's a whole ball game.
It's a total new ballgame, and there's not a lot of information online to support twins. And so I was like, well, you know, I was already looking for another show to launch, and I'm like, well, this is a no-brainer. And so anyway, so yeah, so that's what we do. And MJ is one of our star producers, and we've started to do a lot of different hangouts on the show, Google Hangouts such as this. And you know, MJ can tell you a little bit more about what she does, but she's one of our star people that, you know, hangs out with us a lot.
Aw, thanks, Sunny. Yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom besides working from home doing the NewMommyMedia. I started as the producer of the Boob Group, and since we're kind of on a little hiatus with the Boob Group, Sunny has moved me into the social media producer. So, and we are definitely learning as we go, but it's super fun, and I'm really excited, like, you know, to learn all this stuff, and it's nice to be able to do this type of social media, but be able to see people. Like I really love the you know, video chats, because I've done tons of connecting through social media, but it's just all text and, you know, Facebook. Right. So this is definitely different, and we're doing a lot more hangouts and covering all the topics from all of our shows. So it's fun.
Awesome. Yeah, so if anybody watching wants to join in by asking us questions or whatever, you can tweet us using @MomCaveTV or @NewMommyMedia. And I have another computer over here, so I can look at tweets. So high-tech. This computer is actually missing a space bar and the return key. That's how high-tech I am.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
awesome.
And our giveaway this week is going to be a subscription for 1 year to one of their awesome shows on NewMommyMedia. So in a little while, we'll tell you guys what you can do to win that. It's going to be answering a funny question and commenting below, but we'll get to that later. So first we thought all 3 of us have in common that we do have boys. And I've been thinking a lot lately about the parenting of boys, because mine is at this very boyish stage, I guess, where all of a sudden I'm seeing like more aggression, he's really rambunctious, he's really, you know, I don't allow toy guns, but he can turn anything into a toy gun. Like a pen is a gun, anything. So I've been thinking a lot lately about that, and I thought maybe we could talk about, you know, how we parent boys. Is that cool?
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys did you notice a difference first of all in your boys as they got to a certain age?
So I can go first. I should say, I don't know if I explained this in the beginning. So I've got 2 boys and then the 2 twin girls. Okay, so I have my boys first. And yeah, I mean they're night and day. I mean it is a little bit hard to say because my twins are only 9 months old now. Obviously so my boys are 4 years old and then 2 years old. Okay, so kind of my 4-year-old has got out of that horrible stage. I don't know if anyone's in that horrible stage, but it's like that, oh my gosh, can I please like my child again? This stage is driving me crazy. So my 2-year-old is now in that stage. 4-year-old's a little bit out of that. But totally different from what I've been able to see so far. Just their demeanor, their personalities differ from the girls, just like almost night and day. I don't know, MJ, MJ, you've got 1 son, but have you noticed that with your son?
Well, our situation has always been that every playmate is a girl. So I, seriously have not had boy playmates for my son. If they are, they're usually younger or they're a little older, which he actually does great with older boys because they kind of just, tell him what to do, which he doesn't mind, and I think he just really looks up to them. But I've always been just like the mom at the play dates, anticipating the interaction with another girl. Just the girls seem to be so dainty and just very kind and gentle, and my son just rah, just right in their face. So it's definitely, I don't have a girl yet. Hopefully we might down the line do it one more time. But at this point, yeah, it's definitely just so different from all the other girl playmates that he has.
Yeah, mine is mostly girl playmates too. And I don't know. I try to think maybe I've never had a girl, so maybe it's not a boy or girl thing. Maybe this is just my kid. This is his personality. I see somebody there. Hello.
This is my oldest. This is Sayer. So I thought I'd bring him into the conversation since we're talking about him anyways.
Yeah. But my son's best little friend is a little girl that lives in our building. She's about a year younger than him. And I'll never forget the first time I had her parents over for dinner one night, and it was just me and my son because my husband was out of town, and the parents and the little girl, and my son was so aggressive with this kid. He kept just barreling into her and knocking her down and pushing her, and I kept putting him in timeout and coming out and being like, oh my God, I'm really sorry, I really apologize. I don't know what got into him. I was humiliated. And so then that night I started Googling, what do you do if your kid is hitting and all this? And it kept saying, figure out what it's because they can't express themselves with words. Figure out, did the other child take their toy? Are they frustrated? I swear to God that wasn't it, because he just wanted to see what would happen. It wasn't anything that was wrong with him. And that's what he told me later. I just wanted to see what would happen. I don't know.
Yeah, one thing that my son is doing now that I can't for the life understand, and I keep trying to talk to him about it. He's not around tons. Well, actually, he started preschool not so long ago, so he's around more kids now. But we were visiting a friend who has another younger boy that is about his age, and he got so excited. They were playing so well, and he got so excited he didn't know what to do, and they were playing with some sort of toy, and he just threw it right at him. And I'm like, what? Where did that even come from? I don't even know what to do or what to say. The boy actually got a black eye. And I honestly, and thank goodness it was a friend, and she's like, I get it, it's okay. But as a mom, I was like, they were playing so well. I think my son is a sensitive kid, so he's not like a bully type, but he has this, it's like he doesn't know what to do next, and the only thing that makes sense to him is some sort of aggression. And right. I'm kind of freaked out about it. I really don't know how to handle that. But that's the newest thing I've dealt with is where did that come from? And I try to talk to him, but I don't know. It's hard. It's innate somehow.
Yeah, and it's hard to not take it personally. I used to be this is my reflection of me and the things that I'm doing. But it's just like Jen, you were saying, the pathways are really not even paved yet for them to make the connection of, oh, I feel sad, so I'm going to cry. It's like, oh, I'm frustrated, so I'm going to, they don't know what to do. They just know that they have the feelings, but they don't really know how to deal with them. And that's one of the things that's like helped me so much. Like on a serious note, like AHA Parenting, Dr. Laura Markham, she's like, they send me the weekly emails, and I'm like, how do you know what's going on in my life right now? Like, this is what happened this week. So that's been my savior with like just understanding that, like, okay, I can't take his behavior personally, and also I just don't give it a lot of attention sometimes. Like when he does things that I don't like, I'm like, oh, okay, just like not freaking out, because I used to freak out. So.
Yeah, it's just this like exuberance. Somehow just manifests and crazy. We just got a tweet from Mama Lou's blog, and she says she has the opposite with her 3-year-old daughter is in everyone's face and so rough. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not just a boy thing. Maybe it's 3-year-olds.
Yeah, ask me in a few years with my girls, and I might be able to give you a better idea of which way it's going. Right now, I mean, babies are babies, right? They're not going to get into too much mischief besides crawling into things and eating stuff they're not supposed to. But I think I'll have a better breakdown in a few years to be able to answer that.
It's nice too when like you have moms, because since we have all girl playmates, when I do have moms that have boys, it's like they're like, it's okay, it's normal, and I'm like, thank you, because I feel like a freak here, like I don't want to be a helicopter mom. Yeah. It's like you just feel like I see all the moms like sipping coffee, sitting back at the play dates, and I'm like running around after my son, making sure he doesn't hurt anybody.
Right, I know. It's like I'm not protecting my child. I'm actually just protecting everyone else's child.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So I wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about like if your sons want to dress up like a princess? My son wanted to be a princess for Halloween. Luckily, he changed his mind right before Halloween, because I was thinking just allow it. To me, he doesn't know the difference between female and male gender roles, and he wants to be a princess. Okay, but I could tell my husband was not into that idea. So how do you guys deal with that? Do you encourage or discourage certain kind of behaviors that might be boyish or girlish?
I'll go first. I definitely don't discourage or encourage. I think one of the things we've always focused on too, and I know that my husband, he probably would freak out because he's just, this is his boy kind of thing, but I think it's just, about like, as far as like, he has babies, and we've always like done baby wearing with him, and so he has like his own carriers for his babies, and I kind of try to just think of it as like one day he's going to be a dad, one day he could be a dad. Even if he's gay, he could have children still, but even if he's heterosexual, then he's going to be a dad one day. So it's fine to have that girlish, like even if he wanted to play with dolls, or if he wanted to, if he wants to keep playing with the baby that we have for him, then colors just really don't matter. Like the other day, we were talking about favorite colors, and I said mine was blue, and he said his was red. So, it's like, it just doesn't, I don't really encourage or discourage. I just kind of like let it be whatever it is. And I think that's another thing, just like not making it a big deal, like not paying attention to it, like, won't put any type of label on it for him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our kids are, as you guys know, our kids are just sponges, and they're picking up on every little thing we do. So if we make a big deal out of something, then they're going to know or think that that's a big deal. Right. I think, Jen, that our husbands went to the same school of thinking for this, though, because while I really wouldn't have a big issue with it, my husband would freak out. If my son went out, let's just say my son grabs one of my little girl's tutu things and runs out the door. Yeah. He would freak out. And so colors, I'm just kind of like, I like colors. My kids look, all kids look good in colors, bright colors. I don't care what color it is. So colors, I'm just like, whatever. And I don't think my husband has a big deal with that. I think when it gets into really gender-specific stuff, like frilly stuff or whatever, I think my husband would have an issue with it. And I don't know. I think it might be one of those things that I say I wouldn't have an issue with it, but if everyone's kind of pointing and cackling, I don't want my son to feel bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, so even though I may not have a real big issue with it, I'd be concerned about his emotions and his feelings.
Yeah. I read this blog this week online where a woman had a child. I think the child was like 5, and her whole thing she was blogging about was that she thought her child had gender issues. Like I think it was a boy that felt he was a girl. Like she was talking about this 5-year-old as if it was a transgendered person, and to me that was so confusing. I was like, the kid's 5. What, is this is a little early to make this decision? Aren't all 5-year-olds into trying on everything, playing different roles? I thought that was kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, there was something on Facebook going around a while ago about a family that had a girl that basically just like at 5 years old, I think it was, it like just screamed out and said like, I'm a boy. And so they let her cut her hair real short, and just, so, they were letting her like already wear, boy type clothing and stuff, but it was just like something that like they pretty much saved this kid's life, like just the fact that they just didn't make it a big deal that the kid wanted it to be that way. So I think they are young, but man, like they're so smart, and they really do like know. I think they really do know what they want and they need. Because there's no filter, they don't have to like think, oh, if I want or need this, is somebody gonna think this or that? They just do it. And so, but it was a really cool story because the parents were dealing with a lot of flack from the people on the outsides, and they just basically said like, we're honoring our and they started calling her a him, we're honoring his feelings. And so yeah, I think it's out there, but it's just one of those things that we love our kids so much, we just want them to be happy.
I think one thing that I would add to that is just that I think it would be interesting to follow that child. And so many kids, like one day they want to be Superman, and then they want to do whatever. So like their feelings on stuff change all the time. Yeah. And I do think sometimes as parents we have to be more of the constant for them. Like let them explore. But I would be interested to see where that kid stands, however, like it's a girl, right, that thinks that she should be a boy, where that stands a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever, and see, how the situation changed. Because I just know, like, my son could say he wants to be a girl now, and in 30 minutes he's like, no, Mama, I'm a boy. So I'm kind of like, okay, whatever, it's based on what you saw on TV or, something said or whatever. But it'd be interesting to follow that.
Yeah, totally. So on to a lighter topic. We just shot a whole bunch more of the show that we have called Blabber Moms, where we just interview like funny moms and they tell stories and we edit them together. And there was one woman who she could talk for about a half an hour on her son's obsession with his boy parts. And I was hysterical watching this, which I'll have to edit down to a minute or two. She had a half hour of material because I experienced this too, and I guess most moms do. So do you guys notice this with your sons? Did there come an age where they became aware of their boy parts and more vocal about them?
Yes, definitely for my boy. He is pretty much lately he'll just say like, hey Mom, my penis hurts. It's because it's growing. And so my husband's been telling him that. And he has this thing with I guess it's not a thing because I kind of encouraged it, but like, when we're out like at a park, and some parks in San Diego don't have bathrooms for some reason. It's the weirdest thing, but thank God I have a boy because I'm just like, okay, we're going to a tree or we're going over to a bush. So now he loves to pee in nature, and actually will, if he's like in the kitchen, he'll just go right outside the side door and pee on the bush outside, even though he could go use the toilet.
So. Mine does the same thing. When we live in New York City, so you can't really do that. But when we're in the country, he'll wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to go pee outside. It's so convenient. Yeah. I think it's awesome that they have that option.
I think he likes the aiming, too. Like, hey, Mom, I aimed it on this leaf. It's like, oh, great.
What drives me crazy is when my husband, because I like defer to my husband for a lot of this, because I'm just kind of like, I don't really know what to do, especially when it talks about a growing penis. Like, I'm a little out of my comfort zone, even as a mom.
Well, you've never had a penis, I mean, as far as I know. So
I have never had a penis. But I mean, I feel like my husband should kind of know what to say or what to do. And so I defer to him to a lot of this stuff. But honestly, we just kind of laugh. Like, I don't know what else is. I try not to, like, do it in front of my child, or I try to kind of look away. But it is I can't even think of some of the stuff that he says, but it's just hysterical, and then I just kind of shy away because I'm a little bit nervous about talking to it, or like I don't know what to say. Like, I'm getting nervous now just thinking about my son's penises. I don't. But just to clarify, 2 sons, 2 penises. I think I said son, 2 penises, but that's not
right. Yep. I think the funniest thing mine gets obsessed with lately is when, you know, he wakes up in the morning or from a nap, and he'll go, "My penis is up, my penis is up." Like, he's really nervous about that. And I don't really know how to explain it. I didn't even know that would start happening this early in life. But, you know, I'm just like, yeah, it's up. It'll go back down. It's fine.
I try not to make too big of a deal of it. I try to do, like, it's usually like when I'm putting on his underwear or whatever. And I have to say, like, it's a pretty sizable thing. Like, I don't know what gene he got, but he's blessed in that capacity. And so
save that tape for when he gets older.
Exactly. Well, I don't know what a lot of little boys' penises look like. Doesn't know my kids, but I've been told. My husband says. So, you know, so I mean, I try not to make such a big deal about it, but at the same time, to let him know, I don't want him to be scared of it. I don't want him to think, you know, there's a fine line. Like, you want him to kind of know that that's something he shouldn't show everybody, right? And
right.
They shouldn't tell everybody that his penis is growing, but that he's not scared of it and, you know, nervous to, you know, talk to his parents about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really different because, you know, I don't have that experience growing up of discovering it, and, you know, I don't know what to say, but it certainly brings comedy into your life, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody just tweeted, "It's so hard to reprimand my 5-year-old when he's fresh about his boy parts. It's hysterical." I think it's one of the funniest things about having a boy, actually, is listening to them talk about their penis.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Or like when because we've always taken our son in, he's just always come with us into the bathroom, and so now it's just like a thing. Like, we even have a stool in there so somebody can sit with another person while they're in there. But so he like is kind of into, like, he knows that I have a vagina, and we use like the correct terms and everything, so it's like not a big deal. But he's very interested in, like, you know, like why I don't have a penis.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to explain that, but it's very interesting because of that aspect. Like, I never really went to the bathroom with my parents that I remember, although my stepmom was very open about her body, so I think I got more from her, like, just, you know, didn't matter if you were naked walking around in that household. So you know, we've kind of taken that on here, where it's just like not a big deal, and, you know, haha, make a joke. And then if we're getting too handsy, then it's like, you know, I need my space. So.
Right.
There was
don't you wish you had a penis? Mom, you know, like, he felt bad for me that I didn't. Don't you wish you had one?
I had a situation with my kids in the bathtub. So my boys usually bathe together, and then I'll bathe the twins separately or whatever. And two situations that I felt embarrassed. Again, this is like an embarrassing topic for me, but like 2 different times. One was I came in and I had let the water start, you know, coming down in the tub. Like, I plugged the bottom of it so it could start to fill up. And my son was there under the spigot so the water would land on his penis. And I wasn't even sure what to do, because I wasn't sure if that felt good, and I wasn't sure how to I wasn't sure how to approach that. If it did, like, no, you shouldn't do that, or I guess it's better that you do that instead of something else. Like, I really wasn't sure what to do. And then another time, both my boys were in the bathtub, and they were just like, it was a penis frenzy. It was like they both recognized they had a penis, and they were like just splashing it and twiddling with it and everything. And I was like, there's something really wrong about this. I'm like, okay, You know, I just like tried to, you know, defer their attention elsewhere.
Yeah, I think my favorite is occasionally mine starts singing a song and he's like snuggly penis and he just talks about being snuggly. What do you say? I mean, I'm sure it is really snuggly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
so
out in public, you'll probably be like, I hope that I wish that wasn't something that he.
I try to say like that's fine to say in front of us, but at home, but it's private. We don't say that in public.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to tell everyone to win the giveaway this week. You should leave us a comment about the strangest thing your son ever said about his junk, penis, whatever. That should give us some entertainment for the next week or so as we choose the giveaway winner.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I think we're about done. Moms don't have that much time to keep watching it. It's probably dinner time for most of them. But thank you guys so much for doing this. I'd love to do it again. You're fun. I love your shows. And is there anything else you want to add before we go?
I would just say, you know, one thing that we can do too, we're doing this giveaway, and that's really exciting. I can talk maybe just a little bit about that and what they get. So, you know, we have these 4 different shows, and we have all of our shows are for free, so they're available online for free. Wanted to make that distinction, but to say if you become a member, you get some extra content. So we have PDFs of the transcripts from all of our shows, and we've got some extra graphics that we do, and we do extra bonus content after each new show is released, and they get the opportunity to participate in future hangouts with us, which is a cool way that they can kind of get involved and kind of be a panelist with us online. So that's one of the things that you get if you submit a funny story about your son's penis and what he says.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to hearing many penis stories this week. And love to talk to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
We will. Thank you so much, Jen. It's good talking to you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.